Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're going to take a look at another Siege toy, but this time around we're going to look at one that doesn't have a G1 counterpart. And we're taking a look for some girl power this time around, because we're looking at Chromia. Chromia is a deluxe class toy from the new Siege line. And is so far the first, and right now at the moment, only female Transformer in the Siege toy line, or for the entire War for Cybertron trilogy altogether. Supposedly we will be getting another female Transformer in the form of Greenlight, but she's going to be an exclusive somewhere, but the details for her release have not yet been announced. Just that we're getting her. But at any rate, it's nice to see that we are getting a commercially available female Transformer, something that was long noticeably absent from the Generation 1 line, despite the female Transformers appearing throughout numerous episodes. And of course, the one everybody remembers the most, RC, having a prominent role not only in Season 3 of the cartoon, but also in the animated movie. At any rate, Chromia also comes with a bevy of weapons. Her gun here is an anti-thermo blaster, but at the end of it she has an SR hush fuse, which I presume to take is a silencer. But in her other hand, she's carrying another weapon. She comes with a pair of EMP grenades. This is the second one. And again, this is another toy that I still wonder how it gets released due to having this very tiny piece. I mean, while it's not as tiny as some of the pieces I've shown from my Generation 1 reviews or my GoBot reviews, but this is still a part that could easily be swallowed by a child. So please make sure that you follow the guidelines, as the instructions say, for ages 8+. You don't want this getting into the hands of a child that will swallow them. The instructions, of course, also show that you can make a super gun for Chromia by combining the grenades and putting them in between the gun itself and her silencer. And we end up with this super long thing, which the people at Hasbro did not bother to name. So again, this is the second example that I'm aware of that they put these fancy weapons in, but they don't name them. But at any rate, you can get a look at the gun in its ultra mode here. And I don't know, folks. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. It looks silly. Little too long to be of any real practical value whatsoever. So, you got me here. Alright, we're going to flip her into her car mode, and let's take a look at that. Wait a second here. Before we put her into car mode, we ought to take a look at her articulation. Even though we don't have anything to compare it with, we should do it anyway. You can turn her head from side to side, and she can look up. She can look up at least. She can't really look down very well. She can raise her arms out at the shoulder, about so far, but she can rotate them all the way around. You do have to shift it a bit to avoid her tires. She does have a joint at her elbow, so you can bend her arm at the elbow about 90 degrees, and she does have a swivel at the bicep. Her hands can be moved at the wrist like so, but that's more for transforming her than anything else. She does have a joint at her hip, but it's not really usable for twisting her at the hips. It just looks like she does, but she doesn't have it there. Her legs can be put into a full splits. Apparently the codpiece can be removed. Did not expect that to happen. Well, we'll just plug that back in. And she can bend her legs at the hip about 90 degrees. She can also bend her knees somewhat less so. And no, she can bend her feet at the ankle quite a ways. So, pretty impressive. Not as good as most, but not bad. Now we'll get her into car mode. Okay, now we've got her in her car mode. And I do want to state that I did make a mistake. She does have the ability to turn at her hips. She apparently wanted to fight with me. I'd make some sort of stupid sexist comment for all the male viewers to enjoy out there, but I know I have a significant amount of female viewers, so we will not do that here. You're welcome. But at any rate, this is her car mode. Some sort of Cybertronian vehicle. It's a rather interesting design. We don't have anything really to compare it to, so it makes it difficult to do so. But if there's one thing about it I do like, it's that it does allow her to hold all of her accessories with ease, as the grenades can be attached back here to form the exhaust pipes, and of course her gun mounts here at the back of the car. But of course there is an extra hole up here on her windscreen that if you want you could mount it there. The instructions show that it mounts back here, so apparently you can probably have this be the tail gun and then mount one of the Battle Masters in here. But she also has a couple of holes here just behind the front fender and right here at the back of the car. So you could attach up to 4. Although I would say that many of them sticking out that far would look rather silly. I'd say just stick with putting one there dead center on the canopy. Of course, taking a look inside there, you really can't see much. Well, you can, but it's basically her legs. So you don't really get to see a whole lot or make out any specific details like a seat for a driver. But still, one can imagine that there is. Well, then again, they didn't have need for them on Cybertron. Here on Earth, it helps to have some sort of seat. And as was shown in Revenge of the Fallen, the ability to make a holographic human appear would allow them to drive around somewhat unnoticed. How well does she roll on this table? Pretty good. It's not perfect by any stretch. But of course, that's also due to the fact that some of her body does sit a little low. So that's going to catch on some slightly more elevated surfaces. A nice, smooth, flat surface like this table is probably the best thing for her to roll on. Anything else, and we're going to likely experience some trouble. But at any rate, that's my review of the War for Cybertron Siege version of Chromia. I do think she's a top-tier figure, because we do need some of the female Transformers to make more prominent appearances in the toys. As if you're playing the card game, you'll see that we've got plenty of them coming, since Chromia here was recently announced to be one of the characters in it. So, look forward to that. At any rate, that's through. This definitely concludes the review of Chromia. I hope all of you out there enjoyed it. If you like this video, again, please leave me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button down below to join our ranks, and ring the notification bell so you'll get notified when I post new content. And share your thoughts of Chromia in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.